Hello and welcome or welcome back. My name is Tahira and I'm so glad that you're here. So today we're going to talk about 4 ways to know that you are depressed. Anxious, depressed, whatever it is, it sucks. It does not feel good to be anxious and or depressed. And one of those reasons why it doesn't feel good to say or feel that you have anxiety or depression is because honestly, it felt like for me, I was like failing somehow. For a long time, it felt like if I were to admit openly that I had anxiety or depression, that somehow I was failing or I couldn't handle life's pressures or I couldn't handle being an adult with adult problems. I can assure you that none of those things are true. Anxiety and depression does not mean that you are failing in any way. And I just want to make that absolutely clear. If you're feeling like you resonate in any way with any of the things I'm about to talk about, just my own experiences with anxiety and depression when I didn't even know that I was struggling with anxiety and depression, then it might be time to speak to a professional and get some professional help. And that's also totally okay. It's such as life. If you break your leg, you go to the doctor. If you're not feeling good mentally or you're struggling with your mental health, you also go to the doctor. So let's get into it. One way to know that you are experiencing anxiety or depression is through your physical symptoms. So for me, my anxiety and depression lives in my gut. That is the first sign that I know that I may or may not be going downhill with my mental health. Now, I won't get into too much detail with my rock bottom. I'll leave a link somewhere if I figure out how to do it. But I go into depth about my rock bottom and the joys and the beauty of my rock bottom that were related to my physical symptoms in another video. So I'll leave the link somewhere. The number 2 way to know that you are experiencing or you might be experiencing anxiety or depression would be emotional instability. Now, for me, this shows itself through, I have a lot of numbness. So I'll go days and days and days waking up, feeling gray, feeling like the sky is gray, feeling like my emotions are gray, everything that I'm wearing is gray. Well, yeah, my shirt is gray right now, but you know what I mean? You wake up and there's no color in your world. You just feel totally blah, nothing. And then when you do experience emotions with this emotional instability, you're feeling extremely strong reactions to things. So it could be that you're feeling outbursts of anger or outbursts of anxiety or outbursts of sadness. Whatever it is, it's like you're bottling up your emotions and it lets itself go in outbursts. And between those outbursts, you're just living in a gray life. That's what I was dealing with for a long time. And I thought that was a normal pattern. I thought that I used to say to myself, I don't feel human. And that was like whenever I felt like I was going through like an outburst, I would always end that outburst by saying, I don't even feel human right now. I don't even feel human. I, for some reason, subconsciously, like, obviously I know that being human means that you have emotions, like, but I wasn't putting value on my emotions on a daily basis. I didn't realize how valuable and how much information your emotions really do give you throughout your entire day. and throughout your life. Like your emotions, your intuition, all of these things are connected. Your mental health, all of these things are so connected. So if you're not paying attention to how you're feeling on a day-to-day basis, problems can arise. The number 3 way to tell if you're struggling with your mental health would be avoidance behavior. You are probably most likely subconsciously afraid of failing, so you don't even want to try. And I have struggled with this. I'll be honest with you, I probably struggled with this morning. I feel like this is a very subconscious process where your mind can just come up with 1,000 excuses as to why you cannot do something. Have you been there? Because I have. I was laughing to myself like, girl, you got too many excuses. I feel like I've gotten to a point where I try my best not to judge myself too harshly, but I do see and recognize my thought patterns. So, this morning I wanted to film, I wanted to sit in front of the camera and talk to you guys. I had everything set up to film, and something inside of me, I had a block. I had a mental block. I didn't want to film. And this is avoidance behavior. I still struggle on a daily basis with anxiety and depression. It is no secret. It is always a struggle. As I was in the shower, I heard my inner voice just coming up with 1,000 reasons why I could not film today. I'm watching my thoughts. I'm listening to my thoughts. I'm trying not to be judgmental. But at the same time, I'm like, I hear you, girl. I really do hear you. But we got to film today. This could be applicable to many, many things. Avoidance behavior can be you picking up the mail, dropping it, on your table and not looking at it for 4 months. Avoidance behavior could be you doing fantastic at your job. You just got a raise, you got a promotion, but when you come home, your house is a fucking mess. You're avoiding doing the things that you need to do for yourself. These excuses that you come up in your mind, a lot of the time, if you really process these thoughts and emotions, it's trying to protect you from something, and it's trying to protect you from failure. And if you just push forward and understand that even if you fail, failure is just a stepping stone. So let's say that I didn't film this YouTube video today and I just wanted to take a nap or whatever it is. I would have probably sat in bed and had 10 times more anxiety about me not filming this video. Right or wrong? Do you feel this way? If you feel this way and you've had this experience, let me know in the comments, because I know I'm not alone in this. This cycle of anxiousness can kind of dwindle down into feelings of hopelessness and feeling like you're a piece of shit. And you are not a piece of shit, okay? You are struggling. It's okay. It's okay to admit that you are struggling. It's okay to admit that you're struggling with your mental health. But it's also empowering to be aware of what you're struggling with and be aware of your thoughts and be aware of why you're having certain thoughts so you can move past it. That's really what it's about, because I got in front of the camera today. Yay! So if you are struggling with this avoidance behavior and you're not quite sure what is at the root of it, I would check in with my mental health. The fourth way to tell if you might be struggling with your mental health would be your negative thought patterns. If you have a persistent fear of the way that you are going to be seen, or a fear of failing, or a fear of just not living up to your own standards, this thought pattern can be indicative of anxiety, of depression, regardless of how confident you seem on the outside. You can, appear super confident on the outside and feel like or exude that you have it all together on the outside, but if internally your thought patterns are negative and really fear-based thought patterns, this can be a problem for your mental health. So I saw a quote recently that was really, really eye-opening for me, and I feel like it put into words what I've been actively trying to do in my life. And the quote is, "Shame is not a sustainable form of self-improvement." So let's go back to the idea of me in the shower thinking about 100 reasons why I couldn't film today. Again, so these thoughts are all based in fear, essentially. It's fear of failure, fear of nobody watching my video, fear of looking stupid, fear of wasting my time. There's a lot of fear involved in making excuses for not doing things that you actually want to do. So going back to that quote of shame is not a sustainable form of self-improvement, it's very easy. It could have been very easy for me today to think, okay, there's a lot of different routes I could have went, but today I said, you know what? I am having all of these thoughts. I'm feeling a little bit down. I'm feeling a little bit unworthy. My confidence doesn't feel too hot right now, but I'm going to push through because I know that this is just a temporary feeling, and I'm going to feel really proud of myself for pushing forward and getting a little bit closer to my goals. So it's about recognizing these negative thought patterns that go through your mind and seeing it for what it is. It's just fear. So you just have to sort of sometimes just take a deep breath and get it done. It's very easy to beat yourself up and just get upset that you're even having this negative thought. In my experience, it's helpful to just see that negative thought go in and right out of your head. Because that's all that thoughts do all day. They go in and out, in and out, in and out. So if you have that negative thought and try your absolute best not to judge yourself for having a negative thought and just move on with what you have to do. Yeah, let's not let fear hold us back. I want to make it clear that it's not only about reaching goals or being productive. This is handling your mental health, and dealing with your mental health is about your well-being. It's not about being productive. It's not about, getting an A on your test or posting a YouTube video. Taking care of your mental health is about being able to fill your own cup and just be happy. Be happy. If you struggle with anxiety and depression, it is hard to be genuinely happy. It really is. I know this, but we can do it. We can do it. We can do it with the help of therapy, books, journals. There's so much that we can do to help our mental health, and I hope that you are enjoying this little mini series of me just sharing a little bit more about my mental health journey and how I deal with and manage my mental health and still get shit done. Get shit done. Be happy. Just trying to function and be a light in this world. That's all I want to do. So thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really enjoyed our time together. Please do not forget to comment. Let me know, like, are there some signs? Like, is there a first sign that you can tell if you're starting to go downhill with your mental health? Let me know in the comments. Show me some love. Show me a heart. And yeah, thank you so much for being here.